District 3 City Councilman and Council President Todd Gloria has served as San Diego interim mayor since Bob Filner resigned in August of 2013. Since then, he's led the city forward in tackling issues that range from affordable housing linkage fees to infrastructure funding, and leaves the post with an ambitious agenda for the incoming mayor-elect Kevin Faulconer, who will be sworn into office on March 3rd. Interim Mayor Todd Gloria, you have been a busy man.
Yes, I have.
Well, welcome back. Since we last talked, the San Diego Police Department has had 2 more officers accused of alleged sexual misconduct. Chief Lansdowne has asked for an independent audit of the department. What is the City Council doing to address this issue?
I think you'll see the council support the chief's call for an independent review of our department, really complete, thorough, substantial. We want to look at everything and make corrections where necessary. I think you'll also see us move forward with a funding commitment for body cameras for our police officers, both to document interactions with the public and to protect them as well. And so these are things that we'll be doing, I think, in the weeks to come, all of a part to show that we're taking this situation incredibly seriously and that we want to support the department.
I understand the city has already paid more than $1 million in settlements because of former police abuse allegations. How much will this audit cost, or these the jackets that you were talking about cost?
Well, the cameras themselves we think will be several $1 million over a few years. The audit itself, it could be next to nothing, or it could be several $100,000. Either way, under either funding request, it's worth it. It is worth making sure that we continue to enjoy the public's trust as we go about the business of law enforcement in the community.
The City Council also is going to be looking at new regulations for medical marijuana dispensaries, I believe, tomorrow. Do you think these new regulations will be approved?
I believe they will. The council took a vote about a year ago, a unanimous vote to pursue this ordinance. They should support it because this is what is going to be necessary to remove this Wild West atmosphere that we have now, where collectives are not legal, but certainly they are operating in our city. This will restrict them to very limited locations, away from schools, churches, and other sensitive receptors. I think it's the right balance between the needs of patients and neighborhoods.
Now, we've seen this before, so is this sort of the final hurdle for the illegal medical marijuana dispensaries to open in San Diego, or do you think there will be more?
I'm hopeful that it's the final hurdle. You know, previously the advocates actually worked to repeal the measure that we passed, and I think this time around they're more cognizant of reality and realizing that this is a difficult balance, and that this ordinance does that. We believe we have their support for this ordinance.
Does San Diego have any assurance from the Attorney General's U.S. Attorney's Office that these dispensaries, if this is approved and are operating legally in San Diego, won't be shut down under federal law?
No. I mean, marijuana continues to be illegal at the federal level, but the state voters did approve it for municipal purposes, and we know that they're operating in our city, and so we should be also aware of reality, know that they're operating, put them in the places where they're appropriate, and allow them to move forward. If the feds want to enforce, that's their business, but we think in time that's probably going to change as well, and I'd rather have clear rules of the road on the books now in case that ever were to happen.
And you've had a lot of popular decisions going on throughout in your interim mayorship, if I may call it that, but you've also received some criticism over the homeless advocates saying that your decision to close the temporary housing because of funding problems really is going to put a lot more people, up to 300 people, back on the streets. You've also at the same time vowed to try to end homelessness in San Diego. How do you plan to reach that goal while closing the year-round homeless shelter? By
keeping the funding level. You know, the previous mayor overcommitted, represented that the tents would be open year-round, but he didn't fund it that way. And that's why they're shutting down. It's not my fault. The fact of the matter is they just weren't funded. I would rather not return those funds to the Treasury, though. What I want to do is keep that level of funding and put those dollars in places that we know make a difference. Things like the Neil Good Day Center, the Serial Inebriate Program, the homeless outreach teams. These are all city programs that are woefully underfunded. So we're going to take those funds, augment their funding, allow them to do more good work that we know they're already doing, and that's how we'll end up actually ending homelessness in downtown. And then when we do that, we're going to replicate it in other parts of our city where we know we have a high homeless population.
And the homeless shelter is scheduled right now to reopen in November, correct?
That's correct. We will continue to have the winter shelter program during the coldest winter months, but we will provide services year-round. And this is better than the false hope that was provided by Bob Filner when he said they'd be open year-round, but only funded for 8 months.
Okay, well, the next time I talk to you, you're going to be back in your role as a council president. Do you have any tips you'll be passing along, or words of wisdom to the incoming mayor, Kevin Faulconer?
I've given him some bits of advice, and most of it revolves around trusting our staff. You know, we have 10,000 amazing public servants show up to work every single day. They're the best in the business, and I think that if Kevin relies on them, they will help him implement his vision for our city. But that's something that the previous mayor did not do well. It's something I've tried to do, and I think if Kevin follows that lead, he'll be just fine.
All right, Interim Mayor Todd Gloria, thank you so much.
Thank you.